I'm Dr. James McDonald, and I'm the co-principal investigator on the National Science Foundation Advanced Technology Education Grant that funded the development of Valencia's supply chain automation program, as well as this presentation. So first, I want to start by thanking you for attending this virtual supply chain automation industry panel. Next, I would like to ask that if you're a teacher, please share in the chat box which school you're from and how many students are in your class. Following this brief welcome, we will watch a short video that will introduce you to the role of a supply chain automation technician and how they contribute to the movement of goods at distribution centers so those items end up in your homes for your use. With the increase in e-commerce and consumer demand for ever more prompt delivery, the need for technicians continues to grow as the industry expands the number of distribution centers needed to meet that demand. So after the video, you'll have an opportunity to hear from industry representatives from UPS, FedEx, and Amazon, and have an opportunity to send them questions. Finally, we'll end this event by sharing with you information on the training and educational programs offered by Valencia College that can prepare you for a career as a supply chain automation technician. And now for the video.
Ever wonder how clothing, food, or items such as your smartphone make it from the manufacturer to your local shopping center, or even straight to your doorstep? Look at all of your surroundings. None of it would be where it is now if it wasn't for the supply chain. The supply chain is the people, processes, logistics, and technologies that literally bring any product from point A to you. But this industry that we rely on so heavily has a workforce problem, and it's looking to you as a solution. Because it's become more popular to shop online, companies have begun using high-tech inventory control systems and material handling equipment. Companies are expected to have products delivered almost immediately, and these technologies help them do that. The problem is there aren't enough skilled workers to keep things running as they should. That's why we're looking for young talent like you to step up and become trained. You're probably thinking, what's in it for me?
Googling career choices returns over 175 million results. So how do you narrow your options? Start by looking for a career in a vibrant, growing, and innovative field. The material handling industry offers thousands of rewarding careers and touches the lives of millions of people every day. It all begins with the supply chain. Every product you purchase, use, and consume made its way through the supply chain to you. Material handling equipment and related technologies are the support systems designed to move a product through its life cycle. Think about what's involved in getting a product to an end user. Goods need to be manufactured, moved, stored, protected, and tracked while on the way to their final destination, the consumer. Material handling keeps materials and products physically moving through the supply chain using storage equipment, lifting equipment, conveying, and safety equipment. Automation, information technology, automatic identification systems, and processes ensure items can be tracked along the way. Every single stage of the process is measured, and the results help to continually improve and streamline the supply chain, along with future planning and resource allocation. Material handling is the cornerstone of global productivity. Every single product consumers purchase every day has been delivered through the supply chain. There are thousands of careers to choose from, and they are as diverse as the materials and products moving through the industry. People, projects, and resources all have to be managed. Facilities need to be planned and designed. Marketing, sales, accounting, and operations are key, and engineers, CAD designers, technical service and support, along with information technology and logistics, are just some of the career choices the industry has to offer. To learn more about the material handling industry, visit mahita.org and mhi.org.
As you learned in the video, this is a fast-paced and rapidly growing field. During a time when other industries are treading water or worse, cutting back, it's important to choose a career that can afford you stability, advancement, and a future with wages high enough to support yourself and your family. Now is the time to consider a career as a supply chain technician. This is a person who installs, operates, supports, upgrades, or maintains the software, hardware, automated equipment, and systems that support the supply chain. In short, you'd be credited for making the supply chain work using some of the knowledge and technologies that you're already using today. Make the decision to be a part of an emerging occupation that'll provide lifelong employment, a rewarding career, and improve the quality of your life.
Whether you are searching for your first job or thinking about switching careers to a growth industry, the National Center for Supply Chain Automation can help you get started. Check out our website at www.supplychainautomation.com for more information on how you can become a highly paid supply chain technician.
Good morning. My name is Steve Harrington. I'm the industry liaison for the National Center for Supply Chain Automation. I'm excited to be here. And before we get started, I'd like to touch for a second on the National Center, which is, has developed resources that students, instructors, and parents might find useful in learning a little bit more about the supply chain and the technician occupation, and including on our website the Introduction to Automated Warehousing e-textbook, which is free and downloadable for instructors and for students. First off, let's meet our panelists. Edargo, if you could go ahead and introduce yourself.
My name is Carlos Sanchez. I'm the maintenance service manager over here in FedEx Ground in Davenport, Florida.
Mark.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Mark Welsh. I'm a corporate training manager in the Buildings and Systems Engineering Department at UPS, and I'm located in Miami, Florida.
And then John.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. My name is John Blasdell. I'm Senior Director of Operations on the Amazon account. I actually work for Jones Lang LaSalle, otherwise known as JLL, here in Orlando, and manage a portfolio of approximately 230 sites across North America, including Canada and Mexico, as well as Brazil.
Wow, sounds like a lot of opportunities, John. This career awareness program will be done in a question and answer format with these industry experts. We encourage you to work with your teacher to submit questions via chat. We have a limited amount of time this morning, and if we don't get to answer your question as part of the panel discussion, Valencia has promised to work with the industry leaders to formulate responses for you and get those to your instructors at a future date. With that said, let's go ahead and get started. John, could you go ahead and describe for us the work responsibilities of a technician? Kind of what does a technician do, and what are their what's a tech's responsibilities?
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate that. So overall, we operate with what we call STs, or service technicians, as well as control systems engineers, control systems leads, and control system technicians. In our environment, the bulk of that work is performed in a 24/7 operation. Our service technicians, or STs as we call them, perform regular preventative maintenance on material handling equipment, or MHE, to include conveyance, shoe sorters, cross belt sorters, and robotics, as well as regular maintenance in the 24/7 operation to keep things running for our operations partners. In addition, our control systems engineers are really focused on the controls part of our operation, working on innovative projects, putting together additional solutions to break down barriers for our operations partners, and making sure that at the end of the day, everything is running at an optimum level. There's really two facets to the business. There's the preventative maintenance side to make sure we're staying ahead of everything. And then obviously the immediate maintenance when there's impact operations where we need to respond to various events that might impact outbound or even regular throughput.
Great, thank you, John. And then, of course, the question that's always asked about any given occupation is, what is the pay range for a technician, beginning from starting entry level all the way kind of through mid level and more experienced technicians as well. Edargo, could you help shed a little bit of light on this question?
Yes, sir. It all depends the size of the company. I can tell you that small companies, you will start around like $17 an hour. Here in FedEx Ground, I can tell you that the lowest of the techs will start around $20 an hour. Mid-range will go around $30 an hour, and an expert technician will go all the way to $40 an hour. Like a senior tech with a lot of experience and all around knowledge of the system will $40 an hour. I'm pretty sure UPS can tell you the range and JLL But it all depends on the industry. Like industry big and as ours will pay you really good money.
Well, that's interesting. So $40 an hour, that's equal to over $81,000 a year. That's quite amazing.
Yes, sir.
And Mark, do you have anything else to add to this, to the kind of the wage range discussion for kind of entry level techs?
Yeah, I can tell you. Yeah, on the UPS side, we have a union workforce, so we're represented by the Teamsters Union or machinist unions, depending on where you're at in the country. But we would start our techs at around $33 an hour, and then by the end of their 5-year contract, they're up close to $39 an hour. So that's kind of how we use it or work it here at UPS with our union workforce.
Yep, sounds like some really good wages. And John, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, I think we're all pretty much aligned. I think the only difference that I've seen is with regards to some geography impact. There's some markets where the pay ranges will vary, but I would say on average anywhere from $20 to $33 an hour, depending from a geographic perspective where we're at. And then some of our controls positions will go even higher than that, upwards of 40.
Yeah, yeah. And then in terms of benefits and things of that nature, what sort of benefits are provided by UPS, Mark?
All right, Steve. Yeah, so besides the base pay that we just discussed, we also have paid vacation. So that'll range from 2 weeks to start all the way up to 7 weeks, depending on your length of service. We also have a benefits plan with healthcare. So that includes all your medical, your prescription, dental, vision, your health spending and savings accounts. We also have an employee assistance program to help you with those life events like finding a house or finding a doctor, finding a restaurant. So all those kind of concierge type items, there's a program for that. We have other benefits with discounts on auto insurance, home insurance, identity theft protection, legal protection. We get into disability, retirement benefits, 401k savings plans with company matches. A big one is tuition assistance. That's a real exciting program that we have here too, and you'll see that amongst all the industry partners. Employee discounts at major retailers. We have those. So then we have other non-financial benefits like career development, workplace flexibility, and also volunteer opportunities. What can we do to serve our communities out there that help us? So those are kind of in a nutshell some of the benefits we have, and there's many, many more.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. Definitely a lot of benefits. And are there a lot of benefits offered through employees with your firm, John?
Yeah, again, we're all pretty similarly aligned with regards to the benefits from from regular medical, dental, all the way down to legal assistance. So I think that's pretty standard. Obviously, there's some variations, but overall, the benefits are very similar with JLL as they're going to be with FedEx and UPS. And it's probably one of the greatest aspects of working with an organization like any of those included here today is you've got an incredible amount of support. Regardless of the direction that you turn in, and it's a great place to be with regards to that especially. Great.
And then, so we have a question out there regarding the sort of education or the sort of training that somebody would need in order to become a technician. John, what sort of training and education does somebody need in order to be hired by your firm, by JLL, in an entry-level position?
Yeah, so there's a couple ways to enter the organization, and again, probably similar across the board here. But depending on the level you're coming in at, there's various requirements. If you're coming in as an SQ1, it's obviously a more entry-level type entry into the organization. And then as you continue to progress, there's a lot of opportunities. Overall, we've got a lot of in-house training with regards to both our service technicians and our controls teams. There's obviously a lot of OEM support that comes into play depending on the assets that you're working on and functioning on a daily basis. We've got internal programs with regards to both leadership development, training, and technical asset certification that's required for all of our technicians, regardless of the level. And then, our client Amazon's done an amazing job here in recent years of developing their own mechatronics and robotics apprenticeship program. in which we're bringing in folks in that manner as well, which is a 12-week in-school program, and then you join your facility and a lot of follow-on training that goes into that. So there's a lot of different ways to enter the organization. At every level, you'll get the appropriate support that you need to be successful, and you continue to learn on those assets. And I will tell you that the learning never stops. When you get into a lot of the technical roles that we're in today, there's always something new. So just when you think you figured it all out, something else gets introduced and you got to go learn that. So it's a great place to be if you enjoy learning and you enjoy picking up new opportunities, and just really a fun place to work.
And then, Mark, what sort of kind of educational background does UPS look for in the technicians that you folks hire?
Yeah, so we look for the completion of some type of industrial maintenance program, like a mechatronics or an electrical, welding, engineering technology program, one of those, or also 2 years of industrial maintenance work experience. So if you've worked at a different company for more than 2 years, have that experience, we would bring you in. We have our own testing that we go through. There's a written test, a hands-on test where you demonstrate ability, and then some interview questions we go through. That's how we bring our people in. And then also after they get in, we have a 25-day training program we put them through before we turn them loose out there on the floor. So that's kind of how we do it here at UPS.
And how about FedEx at Dargo?
We don't require education. We just we go case by case on and check the resume and on the interview aspect of the onboarding. But we don't require mostly we don't require education on it. We go case by case. We hire within, like if we see a package handler that has some mechanical knowledge and we have an opening, we go through the process of interview and they go better than anyone else that apply for the job. We hire them. We have a very wide open training program. We pair each technician with the expert ones, and I'm telling you that by month number 2, these technicians are ready to roll, and we haven't had any problems with any of our technicians.
Great. Well, thank you. And then from that perspective, so somebody gets educated, completes some of the required coursework, becomes familiar with some of the things they need to know in order to become a technician. The question is always, boy, are there jobs out there? And John, could you speak a little bit to the availability for employment, both in the greater kind of Orlando region, as well as regionally beyond that and across the country?
Yeah, so prior to 2020, the growth was pretty significant for everyone. It's been nonstop as e-commerce and supply chain really continues to balloon and becomes the normal way of doing business. It was pretty extensive. You didn't have to look far to find an opportunity. I will say that with the impact of the pandemic and everything that's occurred in 2020, that's probably tenfold now. You see a much larger move towards e-commerce for your regular day-to-day supplies, whether it's Walmart, UPS, FedEx, everybody's involved in that now. And that means just even more extensive growth. So there is no shortage of opportunities regardless of where you're at in the United States. It's pretty impressive to see the growth, and with that comes just great opportunities both for individuals and families to continue to excel.
Yeah, excellent. And I think we're all familiar with the growth of e-commerce and the amount of that people have used in order to deal with the pandemic. Mark, are you seeing a lot of demand for techs and a lot of growth that's occurring in the occupation?
Yeah, yes, we are, Steve. So like John had mentioned, with COVID-19, that really accelerated all the e-commerce. So in 2020, like many other companies, we saw our greatest growth in company history. I mean, double-digit percentages across the board. So with that comes it kind of snowballs. So with more growth, we need more operating capacity, which means more facilities, which means more technicians. So it's just kind of a snowball effect with all the e-commerce. And I don't think it's going away. Even when COVID leaves, people are still going to do what they're doing now for the convenience, for the pricing, and all those aspects too. So a lot of growth out there.
Yeah. And so we have a question that came in, and I'll direct this to you, Edardo. What is your biggest piece of advice for someone interested in this industry? What's the biggest? Go ahead.
I would say that the sky's the limit. If you're interested in this business, you can go to any schools, you can go to any training, but it's up to you to excel in this industry. I was a diesel technician before I came into this industry, and I was a pal that was like, I want to join this industry. I've only been in this industry for 5 years, and I'm a maintenance service manager. It's up to you to excel. I understand that the company has requirements for training and all that stuff, but you put what you want to get. As far as you want to get, be motivated. You're always going to be part of something important, because if you don't work the way you're supposed to, this product is not going to get to their customers.
Great. Yep. Thank you. John, do you have anything to add to that? What's the biggest advice you can give somebody interested in joining into the industry?
Yeah, Edgardo's spot on. I would suggest that, if you are, I'll call it quality minded, meaning you like to do a good job all of the time and you don't cut corners and you really have an eye for doing the best job possible. I'd even call it, having the integrity with the work that you do, you will be absolutely successful in this environment. I will also go so far as saying that as Edgardo said, the sky's the limit. And let me include in that, from a leadership perspective, the opportunity to move up into those roles. Give you a very brief example. I had what is now considered an ST1 technician that worked for me up in Kenosha, Wisconsin, who is now a senior maintenance manager running a 1 million square foot facility and doing things he never thought he would do after just 5 years. So, and he did that, and he got in that role because he was inquisitive. He wanted to learn. He focused on quality. He focused on mentoring the people around him, both up and down the chain of command. And at the end of the day, has just put his family in a position that he never thought he'd be in. So again, the sky is the limit. If you're willing to put the time and effort into it, you will absolutely be successful in this environment, and you'll have a great time doing it.
Yeah. Wow, that's an exciting story. Thank you for sharing that, John. Hey, Mark, what brought you into this field? And how did you get started?
Very good question. So I've been in with UPS for close to 30 years now, but back out of high school, I always liked work with my hands and being out there on the front lines. So that kind of got me into it. And I started at UPS loading trucks while I was going to school for engineering. And then after that, I found out they had an engineering department. So that kind of sparked my interest. I inquired about it. And that's the thing, you have to go get it what you want. So I inquired about it. I kept knocking on their door, and finally they let me in. And it just it's been wonderful since then. So over 30 years. But again, I liked working with my hands, being out there on the front lines, working with employees and learning new things. So that's kind of what sparked my interest way back when. So
excellent. And Edardo, here's a question that just came in. If you had to do it all over again, would you do anything differently? If so, what would you change?
If I had to do it all over again, I would do it. I would do it younger.
So what would you change? Would you change anything?
No, because I'm always been a go-getter. I would like competition is my thing. A good competition, healthy competition, and I want to be the best of my craft. And that's what got me all the way over here. But I always been like that. I grew up like that with my dad. I'm a combat veteran, and I always try to be the best over there too. And that gave me the discipline, the ethics, and the integrity to do this job. This is one thing that you always need.
Okay. And John had touched a little bit earlier on a career progression story that was exciting out of Wisconsin for somebody who hired in as an entry-level tech. Mark, could you touch a little bit on the career progression of somebody at UPS as they move, maybe starting out and then as they move into the to PE/technician space, mechanic space with UPS?
Yeah, so we're big in career development. So giving the people the opportunity to do what they want, and then it's our responsibility to help them get there. So we have many of our technicians that start as, come in as a technician and work their way into our management. So they will start as an hourly employee, work their way into management from a part-time supervisor position to a specialist to a full-time supervisor to managers, and some of them are even now directors of the company. So it's unlimited in what you can do. And again, it's all about the individual. What do you want to do? And it's our job to help you get there. And that's kind of how we run it here at UPS. So a lot of opportunity out there.
Yeah. And do you have anything to add to that, Edargo?
Yes. With the increase of the demand of e-commerce, especially us, we have opened at least 5 more stations around the southern my region. And we are up to open 2 more, one in Williamsburg, which is south of Orlando, and one in Port St. Lucie. And that's 18 techs that we're gonna need in by the end of this year. And so the opportunities are great for you guys that are coming up in the system, and also for us that want to get promoted, because those stations needs facility maintenance managers, they need maintenance service managers, and stuff like that.
Great. And we're starting to run a little bit tighter on time, so we have time for kind of one more round robin question, and I'm going to put this one together. There's a question. Students are going to school and learning a little bit about the occupation, beginning to hone their skills as technicians. And what sort of opportunities might your firm offer from the perspective of internships and apprenticeships, and or is there a tuition reimbursement program set up? John, if you could take that one first.
Yeah, so as I mentioned earlier, we've got a pretty extensive mechatronics robotics apprenticeship program that's been implemented by our client Amazon that's been very successful thus far. Tuition assistance and reimbursement is another area that we focus on as well. I think the big ask with that one is that whatever we're supporting from a tuition perspective is relative to the business. So as you're considering some of the coursework that you want to get into, it should focus on something to do with the organization that you're in typically. So if you go to your supervisor and you're looking to take a course in basket weaving, probably not going to be the right approach. But if you're looking for stuff that's specific to mechatronics, robotics, even if you're looking at leadership opportunities with regards to training on, the most recent one I just approved was with regards to mediation and working with folks that are in the middle of a situation, they're not getting along. A specific class on that, more on a legal side. That's stuff that we absolutely look forward to working with the teams on, to getting them that education. And I will tell you that it seems to me, and I don't know if everybody would agree, that the tuition assessment and reimbursement is one of the areas that seems to not get taken advantage of as much as it should. So take advantage of that. Use those resources. Get out there. Get into organizations like Valencia. Continue to expand that education. Even if you get into a role and you're enjoying that role, don't stop. Make sure you continue to educate outside of that and continue to develop yourself in the process, and you'll never hit the end. I promise you that.
And thank you, John. And Mark, with regard to internships / apprenticeships and tuition reimbursement, if you could touch upon that at UPS.
Yeah, so at UPS, we offer all of that. So on the internship side, we offer that to our management people. So those are paid positions that we work with the students while they're in school. We can adjust our schedules to when they're in school, when they're not, and kind of work through that with the internships. And the apprenticeships we have in certain locations, since we have union labor, depending on the local union contracts, we do have apprenticeships with our technicians, usually in areas like Chicago or New York is where we have those. And then on the tuition reimbursement, we have a program for that too, where we provide up to $25,000 over the lifetime of your career for tuition assistance. That also includes paying all the registration fees. There's discounts on textbooks. And then we also partner with hundreds, if not thousands, of colleges and universities and trade schools across the globe, either online or in person, to offer discounts to the employee and also their families in most cases. So that would include like reduced tuition, reduced room and board, things of that nature. And it just varies by institution or university.
Well, I want to thank today's panel for taking time out of their day to join us for this important discussion about the opportunities that with the technician occupation, and to provide a little bit of background on that position. I encourage all the students that are on today's call and anybody that may view this in the future to look a little bit further into the industry, take a look on the National Center's website. And then I have a friend here today, Kevin Curley, who's going to talk a little bit about kind of what sort of research you can do at Valencia College. Kevin, if you could take it over from here.
Thank you, Steve. Good morning, everybody. I think our panel did a great job giving us no doubt that this industry segment is rapidly growing and it's going to continue to grow. And at Valencia College Osceola campus, we have two great paths that can allow you as a student to obtain the skills you need to enter this career field as a supply chain automation technician. So the first path is through our Engineering Technology Associate in Science degree program. This program's an exciting, well-rounded program, a two-year program that trains you with the skills, make you capable of installing, repairing, maintaining the equipment and systems used in these supply chain distribution centers and related industrial environments. The AS degree program also provides general education and knowledge and lets you develop your soft skills to enable you to be prepared to enter this career field or move on for a more advanced degree program. And it really sets the foundation you need for career advancement. The second opportunity at Valencia College Osceola campus is our Accelerated Skills Mechatronics Certification Program. This program is a more fast-paced 20-week program that focuses on the hands-on skills for the equipment and machines essential in these industries. The Accelerated Skills path also can articulate into the degree program if later you decide you want to continue your education. So those are two great paths, and both of them can put you on a path to enter this career field as a supply chain technician. Now I'm going to turn it over to Dr. James McDonald, and he will tell you more about how to find out about these programs.
I want to first thank our panelists for their time today. Success of Valencia's academic programs is hugely dependent on the support we get from our industry partners. Today's event was a great example of that type of support. Thank you, John, Edgardo, and Mark. Your support is very much appreciated. I also want to thank those who attended this event today, or those of you who will watch this event in the future. I hope this presentation sparked an interest in you to become a supply chain automation technician. If you're interested in learning more about these programs or Valencia College, connect with your resources at school, like your college and career counselors and your transition coaches. To check out other virtual programs and experiences, go to www.valenciacollege.edu/RSVP. Again, thank you, and we hope you eventually join the Valencia College family soon.